The new safety alert. Criminals are impersonating a well-known tech company in a text message scam.
A Tucson man says he fell for it and scammers nearly drained his bank account. 13 News reporter Rebecca Taylor shows us how the scam works.
The text mimicking Apple has been making the rounds for the past year, and law enforcement says criminals have perfected their script. The message, which appears to come from Apple's billing department, raises multiple red flags typical of phishing attempts. It alleges unauthorized activity, references compromised bank information, and urges you to call immediately or face irreversible charges unless you act now. This man, who doesn't want to be identified, says it looked so real he was tricked into calling the number.
Scammer was not pushy in the beginning. He was more on what I would call the friendly side. He gave his name as Sam.
He says the scammer pretended to be a representative of Apple's support. At some point, he thinks the scammer installed malware on his iPhone to tap into his bank account, then used emotional manipulation to gain access to private information.
He said, "I need your help to catch this guy."
Enlisting you to help him.
Exactly, and that's his advantage. That was my downfall.
He's not alone. Thousands of people have received similar text messages across the U.S. Many have turned to discussion boards asking others if it's a scam. On Apple's community board, one person writes, "I received 2 messages today and almost called the number. Something just felt odd, so I looked up to see if anyone else received the same." Another wrote, "Yes, I got 2 of them 1 minute apart. It's a phishing attempt. The sender is a scammer."
Don't use the number they provide. Use the number you look up from a separate source.
What I suggest is just keep an eye on your bank records. Look at them weekly. Look at your credit card statements. Check your credit history. If you see anything out of the blue, you need to start acting on it.
That's exactly what this man did. He says Chase Bank flagged multiple fraudulent charges ranging from $450 to $500. But he says 2 charges totaling $2,000 went through.
It looks like the charges came in on May 29th through Alibaba.com, and next to that was Singapore.
He says Chase reversed the transaction on June 2nd, but days later he says Chase reversed it back, deducting $2,000 without explanation. 13 News reached out to Chase Bank for answers. In an email, a spokesperson for the bank says, "After further review, our claim denial stands, as we found these transactions were authorized by the customer with no evidence of fraudulent account takeover or of a compromised device." 13 News asked the man for copies of his bank statements multiple times, but he never provided them to us. He calls the denial bad news and hopes others learn from his mistake.
It creates a lot of fear and anguish.
By the way, Apple is aware of this scam and others. Apple's website has a dedicated page to help customers recognize and report scams and secure their accounts. We've linked it to this story on KOLD.com. I'm Rebecca Taylor, 13 News.
So now some of the biggest takeaways: don't answer calls or text messages claiming to be from a trusted company, and never follow links or open attachments in unsolicited messages.